Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a video from Meets the Press where Senator Raphael Warnock talks about they're going to throw people away as he condemns Mike Johnson's Medicaid work requirements. Now, to give you a little background, Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock was the first African American to represent Georgia in the Senate. He was the first black Democrat elected to Senate from a southern state and the second black U.S. Senator from a southern state after Tim Scott in South Carolina. Now, Senator Raphael Warnock took his seat. He held his seat since 2021. He is a member of the Democratic Party, and Warnock has also been a senior pastor at Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church since 2005. It also says that he is a leading activist on the campaign to expand Medicaid in the state under Affordable Care Act. So when he was on Meet the Press, I'm sure he had a lot to say about it, speaking against Speaker Mike Johnson on his intent to add work requirements to Medicare. And here's the interview.
Welcome back, and joining me now is Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia. He's the author of a new children's book. We appreciate
We're in this
it.
together.
Let's start
Leo's
right
Lunchbox,
off, where I was talking with the Speaker. Senator Warnock, one of the big issues in what is now officially called the Big Beautiful Bill Act is, of course, Medicaid, and he makes the argument people should have to work in order to get Medicaid benefits. What's wrong with that argument? Why shouldn't people have to go to work in order to get Medicaid?
Good morning again to you and your audience. Listen, I am a big advocate for work. I have a fierce work ethic. It was something passed on to me by my late father, who was a preacher and a junk man. And every day, you know, he was picking up old junk cars to feed our family. And on Sunday morning, the man who picked up cars that have been thrown away picked up people who've been thrown away. And this is what this legislation does that they're trying to do. They're going to throw poor people away. I believe in work. And I recently released a study in Georgia that shows that this work reporting requirement, because that's what we're talking about, not work requirements, work reporting requirements is very good at kicking people off of their health care. It's not good at incentivizing work at all. There's something wrong-headed about this kind of view of poor people, of working class people, that somehow they don't want to go to work. We have seen this failed experiment in Georgia. We've got over 500,000 people in Georgia who are in the health care coverage gap. They are largely the working poor. The governor has put a program in place. He calls it prosperity to coverage. He ought to call it, or pathways to coverage. He ought to call it pathways or blockages to coverage because they've only enrolled about 7,000 people. That's pathetic. And the data clearly shows that if you want to get people to work, the way to do that is to provide them just basic health care so that they don't get sick. And what they're trying to do now is take this terrible experiment in Georgia, force it on the whole nation. And what we will see as a result of that is a workforce that is sicker and poorer and an economy that's weaker.
And we should note, actually, that Georgia is the only state right now with work requirements. I want to move on to another aspect of this bill. The bill allocates nearly $150 billion towards border security and immigration. Under this second Trump administration, border crossings are at some of their lowest levels ever recorded. Given that most voters, senators, say that this is a top issue, do you support the measures in this bill that would strengthen the border and border security?
Listen, I support strong borders, and we don't want to see people who are criminals, who are committing awful acts, allowed into our country. But what we need is common sense immigration laws in our country. What we are witnessing right now here in the state of Georgia, for example, a young college student who is doing well, has been here most of her life. She was accidentally picked up in a traffic stop. As it turns out, the police had it all wrong. They had the wrong person But because of these draconian movements that we're seeing, this kind of singling out and othering people, this college student found herself in the grips of ICE. And now she's trying to navigate her way through the system. I don't believe that the people who voted for me and the people who voted for Donald Trump intended for this young woman, who is a bright young woman who's already contributing to our society, to be caught up in the clutches of our immigration system. This is the politics of fear and division and distraction, and it's because they know that their agenda, their economic agenda, is not working.
And just yes or no, do you support the provisions that would strengthen border security, or you a no on this entire bill? Just yes.
Listen, I supported a bipartisan bill last year that would have strengthened our border. It was largely a bill focused on giving our Border Patrol the things that they needed, and the Republicans decided to kill it in order to put Donald Trump in office.
All right.
Again, I say this was an interview on Meet the Press with host what's his name, Kristen Welker, and Meet the Press. What else you need to say? It's a great show. She's a great host. She does not shy away from asking the questions that we all want to know. And again, this was Senator Raphael Warnock talking about they're going to pull people away by adding work requirements that's going to make it harder for people to get the health assistance and benefits that they may need to help them continue to work jobs they already are working that's not helping them pay the bills. So that was a great interview. Just wanted to say that real quick. And